What is over? What are you doing?
Oh, I already had that.
Wait, where's the chest?
It's always on the west side, the starting side.
Yep.
But it wasn't there. No, Xander, don't give me that shit.
Oh, you already picked it up. That's why. Because I opened it, saw it was something.
But I
Nothing.
didn't pick up anything.
Yeah, but if
If
you're the last one in
one
there,
and everyone leaves, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, because everybody left.
Yep.
Correct.
No, Xander, OBS is being stupid. I don't know why.
I can't imagine how fast this would be with
With 8 people.
8 people.
Oh, come on! You didn't even let me get my frickin' thing off.
Come on, Pig, don't draw faster. Yeah, I should actually let you draw.
That's alright.
Leave it to the black mage to wait to the last second.
I mean, I trust Mira implicitly at this point. I don't think I've ever seen him something that quite or even
I mean, I'm sure I must have at some point.
let me phrase it a different way. It's never been enough of an issue. I just trust you. Like, in general, I trust everyone in this group. Mira, if he's standing in some weird spot, he knows what's happening next. Valerie, that he's just moved to that weird spot early.
But we're just doing some farming. Some farming. That's all we're doing.
Yep.
We having a chill night with the forest fairies.
Chill night after we decided what to do and
Oops, I messed the button.
I really like that it's 5 stacks of lunar.
So I think what's supposed to happen is another party supposed to go to the opposite side.
Yeah, you get a stack of vulnerability for however many people are on the platform.
Okay, so we effectively have 1 extra stack.
Oh,
Yeah, but you can take a full 8 count too, but
did I learn you can actually solo that party stack?
I see Mira's microdosing tank busters to be alive.
should probably like start collecting those things so that I can
Get like the diamond plate.
descent them.
This discussion happened earlier, but I wanted to continue down the track. What do you guys think the next goal after FR?
Probably the Endwalker one, right?
Well, I was gonna say, for me, it's either Shadow versus Story.
Yeah,
They call them like tragedy of the act.
that's one thing.
Because I don't think, because Eris thought that we were going to get like a Garlean ultimate, but I don't think that's going to happen until patch, until we get to the end one. Hey, I've got a quiver.
Oh, cat's not getting it.
Hey, first quiver.
Huh, nice.
It's like 99 totems to get it, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Also, remember to keep one of each of the weapon totems so that you can get the card.
Not weapon totems, it's just a totem in general.
Well, no, I meant like, the gemstone weapons.
I know what you're talking about. I thought it was just what's it called? You just need like a ruby totem.
Yeah, just one of each of those three.
Wait, what is this
Yeah,
for?
Card. Triple triumph.
Oh. Tasty. I love a tank buster in the morning.
Ah, that's actually a group stack.
Yeah, that's the party stack.
Oh.
Oh, I'm the tank then.
I must have had some really bad
Use your third eye. Where's your third eye?
I did use it. I did use my third eye.
You are bitches for jumping over.
Oh, look, another glibber. Oh, I can't get that because I already have it. I already have the diamond chakram, so I can't get it.
Does anyone need the diamond quiver?
I got it this time.
I think the only two people got it now.
Yeah, diamond was my first and only one that I got on content.
I don't think I've ever gotten a mount on content.
My first mount on content was Everkeep.
No,
You know what's
Believe it or not-
crazy? I had like 80 plus totems sitting for Barbaricha, not counting the fact that I had bought like 7 weapons, thinking be like, oh yeah, I'll get the mount eventually, right? Like, no big deal. And I still haven't gotten the Barbaricha mount, despite it being my favorite extreme like in the game.
Mine is Hades, but Barbie is second for me.
I don't know which one's my favorite.
Also, my first on content mount was actually Walker Rodor.
I did enjoy Mommy Crystal.
My first one was definitely an A Realm Reborn one because I know I got all the ponies before finishing A Realm Reborn.
Hmm.
Before having
Yeah, if we're talking
it was
extremes, I
probably
not-
Shiva.
Oh, do you have the tattoo?
I do.
You have the
You have the 1.0 tattoo?
Oh, I thought we were talking
Oh.
about real tattoos.
I mean, like, I've got real tattoos. Woo. But, like, I'm actually kind of jealous of the people that have the 1.0 tattoo. 'Cause I want it.
You suffered with us for long enough, you get the tattoo.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's for the people that suffered through 1.0. So it's the oh hey yeah you suffered with us in our worst times tattoo. Oh, is that it for tonight?
yeah, just because it's a little bit late. I feel like we have marching orders as hell for you. What we're gonna do next? What's the plan?
So you're going to post the little form for us to be like, these are the
Yeah.
mounts that we don't have, and these,
Yeah,
all that
or
stuff,
things that
too.
people want to farm, sort of deal. Yeah,
Are you going to put minions on that list?
I can.
No.
I was gonna focus. Well, it depends what the minions are. If the minions are, hey, I want to farm A8 to get the minion that drops from there specifically, or any of the savages where it's a guaranteed drop, yeah, I don't care. If it's, hey, I want to farm this dungeon, no.
I want to get my bird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure A8 is soloable, so
I believe it is also. It's more so, it's like, hey, can we do this? Yeah, that's fine.
A8?
Yep, Alexander 8 Savage.
Oh, yeah. I think that's soloable.
yeah, I know you can do 12 of them.
12 you can definitely do. 4 you can do it in a very specific way to not die, but you need to be careful of the DC.
You also have to kill one of the legs really fast to bypass like a really bad mechanic. You can't really solo.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yep.
It is. I'm contemplating if I should go download the Monster Hunter beta.
Do it.
I don't want to see what it like runs at like Uber settings.
I need to find out.
I just refunded Dragon Age 2 today.
You didn't like it?
I might like it. I don't know, but the reviews are too like all over the place at this point for me to be like, yeah, you know what?
I don't
I'll
play
pay full
games.
price for it.
I don't play games based off of reviews. I play games because I want to play games.
Yeah, but like I've been following this series for like 15 years of my life. Like, and for it to, I don't know, I guess like too many games for the last 6 years have just been like utter and complete disappointments to me, where I'm no longer like excited about games coming out anymore because game companies have gotten too good at their marketing to like falsely represent like how their titles are actually performing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, because I was a big pre-order guy, like I was at GameStop like maybe every 3 weeks,
Well, see,
like
like I've
perusing the
had
pre-order.
experiences where like there's a lot of people that would like completely dog a game out, right? It's bad, it's horrible, it's the worst game. And I've played it and I loved the shit out of it, you know? Like
Sure, sure. I mean, there are games that I like that are not what you would consider generally well received, but that's why I usually like to watch like visuals of people playing, right?
mhm.
So, like, but Veilguard combat at level 1 looks the exact same to me at combat at max level. So I'm like, okay, I don't get it doesn't really seem cooler. So I'm not sure if
Yeah, but
I'm signed up
the
to be like,
story and the lore and the character
well,
design
that's the
and
I hate the character design. So like
I mean
Veilguard
like
character design, I think is like if I wanted to play Fortnite, I'd be playing Fortnite.
but yeah, but like still there's like more like for me to experience like for my experiences, yeah, like gameplay is important, but like I also like if the gameplay is good and the story doesn't captivate me, I won't play it. Like Final Fantasy VII, right? So many people are like, "Oh my god, Final Fantasy VII is amazing. It's great. The gameplay feels all right. It seems cool, but like the story hasn't like
Are we talking about like remake or
the
OG?
original."
Yes.
I mean, FF7 took a solid like these are like the like rose tinted glasses shit too. Like people forget like JRPGs were a minimum of like 80-hour investments. So it was difficult to have a JRPG style game that was like super captivating in like the first
Final Fantasy
15
VI.
hours of play.
Final Fantasy VI. From the beginning of it, I was hooked.
I was hooked on 7 from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean the train for me was like holy shit. Uh
Yeah, I was also
Literal
9.
eco-terrorist.
Yeah, like
yeah,
for
like
me, like Final Fantasy VI, I was hooked from the beginning of it. Like I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a story, and like yeah, I loved Final Fantasy VI. Final Fantasy VII, it just feels like the story is such a drag.
I mean it's dark and yeah, like it's that
No,
way can take you a hot minute.
not like a drag as in dark,
Yeah,
but
I
like
understand, but like
a drag
it
as
can
in
also
dull.
yeah. It that's why I said like some of the JRPGs take a hot minute to get pretty interesting.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
I mean,
fair.
7's real story doesn't really start to kick in until like after you leave Midgar, and that's several hours into the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like FF7 took off at like hour 15.
But I loved all that stuff before it kicked off. I used to replay the beginning all the time.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on what you're into.
Yeah, because everybody has like different sections that they love
Mhm.
and they hated. Like City of the Ancients, I fucking hated that in the game. Like Niflheim, Nibelheim, whatever it was called.
Nibelheim.
But yeah,
Nibelheim,
like to
Nibelheim
me,
from the
like
Terrible 15.
for me to like actually enjoy a game, like one, I have to be like in like the game has to have some aspect that captivates me to the point where like I'm going to play this game. And
Yeah, okay,
a lot of it for me isn't necessarily gameplay. While yes, gameplay is important. How does the gameplay and how does it feel when you're playing it? But a lot of it for me is the story. Like the story.
Yeah, that's true. But if you've been playing Dragon Age since Origins, you will objectively know that the story has been progressively getting like weirder and not as good compared to Origins. Like,
I've only played the first one.
yeah, okay. Well, 2 and 3 are not particularly good. Like Origins is still considered the goat. 2 was widely panned and criticized. Like the combat made me stay around for 2, which was kind of neat. But the story in 3 was shallow and it had some real awesome kind of cliffhanger moments, but like the best part of Inquisition was like DLC content that they added like well after the fact with the game, and multiplayer is what really kept me playing that game for forever.
Mm-hmm.
So like they haven't managed the franchise particularly well, and so the fact that Veilguard is kind of like in like all over the place with opinions,
Mm-hmm.
like to me at that point it's like, well, the last 2 games haven't been stellar and I gave them the benefit of the doubt, so you know, and I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt and I'll just wait till the game goes on sale. So
Yeah, that's the big thing for me of is I have such a backlog. I don't buy games anymore until it's on sale, and it's bad.
Yeah, I have quite the backlog myself, but like, eh.
I
Also,
mean there
Final
are
Fantasy 8.
sometimes, huh?
Final Fantasy 8 was better than 7.
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe that.
I've actually never played all of the Final Fantasies. And so like something I did start in my stream because like there's a lot of references to all the older Final Fantasies in 14. And 14 is what got me playing all the older ones because I wanted to like make the connections that other people were making. And like that has taken 14 to a new level for me. Like Valgamanda. Valgamanda is in Final Fantasy 6. That's a Final
Is
Fantasy
it
6
directly
reference.
from six or is it
Yeah,
from somewhere
it's
else?
from 6.
Yeah, it's from 6.
It used to be Tritalk.
That's what.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just six.
And then, you know, like I'm not you cannot change my mind. You absolutely cannot change my mind. Stormblood, not Stormblood, Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers is either a prequel or a sequel to Final Fantasy 3. Cannot change my mind.
Okay then. I mean, if you can't change your mind, there's really no point in discussing it.
No, because like think about it, right? So in there's a tidbit in Final Fantasy 3 where you have the Warriors of Darkness and the Warriors of Light. And the Warriors of Darkness join the Warriors of Light to put down the Cloud of Darkness.
Sure.
Is it been that I always want to call them the Warriors of Dankness?
That's fine.
But
I think that's
in
what
there there's a piece of it that is like at one point the Warriors of Darkness drove out the light because the light was going to take over the world.
Huh?
Same story of Shadowbringers. The light is taking over the world.
Well, yeah, because all the expansions are based off of previous Final Fantasies. Like that's the charm of 14. It's like
Yeah,
an
I know.
ode
I'm
to
just
30 years of Final Fantasy.
I know, I'm just saying, like, it's still like it's cool. It's cool as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, they're not like canonically related in any
No, I
shape, shape,
know,
or form.
I know that. But like, still, like,
You know, like the coolest thing that they could have fucking done, they abandoned, which was the Fabula Nova Crystallis original idea that 13 was supposed to be, with 13 verses in Type 0.
I
Like,
don't,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I don't know what that is. I
so
didn't play
the
13.
originally Final Fantasy 15 was
Uh-huh.
called Final Fantasy 13 Verses. Final
Okay.
Fantasy 13 was 13, and then Type 0 was also, it was, I forget what its original name was, but it was Final Fantasy 13 something else. And it was 3 separate Final Fantasy games, all taking place in the same universe, but in different places.
In the same universe.
In the same universe, and it was all in the Fabula Nova Crystallis is like Tale of the New Crystal, and so the idea was it was supposed to be 3 separate FF games about this main mother crystal
And that's
and
how we
how it
got
affected the
14.
world. No,
Not in the same way.
Not in the same way.
but they abandoned it because the engine for Final Fantasy, that was when Square Enix almost went bankrupt and Sony abandoned them and sold off their like 25% stake in it.
And then we got Final Fantasy 16 where you're going around and destroying crystals.
I have not played 16. I know nothing about it. I want to know nothing about it.
I didn't say anything
That's like
about
the
Final
base
Fantasy
premise
16.
of the-
You never heard me say anything about it.
That was more so just like, hey, don't talk more about it.
No, I haven't played it myself. I've only seen like bits and pieces of other people playing it.
I played it.
It looks good. It looks great. And I want to play
I
it,
don't
but
know. I don't like that visual style that they've.
I think the game looks good, but I don't know. Like, it has very little replay value to me. Like,
mhm.
because it's kind of a miserable game. There's never any like there are high points in terms of like some of the boss fights are really epic, but like there's very few joyful moments. So it's just kind of like it feels like a miserable experience to replay it.
I get that.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
playing
sort of
it
where I'm at with it
until
now. Like, I have a couple of hours into it, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking depressing. Like,
yeah, I'm not playing it until I've gone through the other ones because I'm going through them in numerical order.
9 is the best.
But I'm not gonna play 11 because that's like another whole like.
You don't want to spend thousands of hours in an MMO that's been out for 20 plus years. Casual.
Not really.
what a loser.
I'm already. At one point I was playing 3 MMOs. You know that's like a lot.
I could.
At one point, I paid 3 separate subs for a single MMO, but I've never played 3 separate MMOs.
Yeah, I was playing. PSO2.
That's
Once,
not an MMO.
Once Human, and 14. I'm still playing Once Human, but I
Yeah,
kind of
oh,
I stopped playing.
maybe between those 3
PSO2.
games, you got 1.5 MMOs.
Alright, I'm gonna head out for dinner. Good night, y'all.
You know, it's
Good
not
night.
like you were like triple boxing
Yeah.
EverQuest.
No. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Later, Bear.
night.
If I can leave this goddamn. There we go. Bye.
Well, I like. Okay, so as far as PSO2 goes, I like the gameplay. I like the style, the combat style, and things like that that they have. There's not enough story in it for me to keep playing it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There's just there's no substance. It's like you get a week of not even a week of like when they come out with new story. It's like 2 hours of story, if that, and then you're grinding out your next best set of gear, which isn't even like woo. And like that's all like PSO2 became was just grinding out the next set of gear, and it just like I lost interest in it because it was always just grind, grind, grind. Like not like if you know like every game has its grind. Like don't get me wrong, every game has its grind, but like in 14, it's nice because like I don't have to grind
You
everything.
don't have to grind, you have to grind.
Yeah, grind isn't the gameplay.
You know, like
It is
it's
in PSO. Like your options are grind or not play.
yeah. That's pretty much the thing with PSO2 is like I met some cool people in there. Like it was cool. You know, I hung out with them. We did stuff together. It was cool. But like it's just constant grind. And it's like I don't want to be constant grind. You know, like tonight, you know, like yeah, I do some grinding in 14 to level up all my jobs. I still got like 5 left to go. But like, you know, like I don't have to grind. I could take my time with it because I've got mount farming I can do. I've got raids I can do. I've got crafting stuff I can do. I've got, you know, like it's
There's a variety of gameplay to make it not feel like a grind.
yeah.
PSO gives me PTSD because I feel like I'm in grade school because whoever designed the menu system in PSO is the same asshole
Oh
that
my
like set up
god,
the
the menu
internet from the
system
fucking
is
90s.
yeah, the menu
I
system is
literally feel
horrible.
it's awful. Like it looks awful, it navigates awful, it everything about it is garbage.
And you think, and people think Final Fantasy 14 doesn't do a good job with tutorials and things like that. Yeah, so 2, oh my god, it's the worst.
I mean, I would still not call 14 good with tutorials. It's
Yeah,
just so
like the
happens
problem
that
with
there's another one
14
that's
is
worse.
yeah, exactly. Like here's a shittier shit sandwich, right? Like this shit sandwich has dicks in it too. Like they're still shit sandwiches. Like
But yeah, but like the like figuring out how to do things in oh my god, and like at least in 14 there's like reasonable guides that you can follow and you can look and you can comprehend. Not with PSO2.
yeah.
The guides are
14's
written
14's
horribly.
biggest problem
Yeah.
right now is it has too many languages. Like there's too many different design languages that coexist in the game right now. So, I mean, to fairness to Yoshi P, he's been doing a halfway decent job at like, and the development team have been like sort of squaring those circles, but yeah, like who remembers like sleep and silence versus stun, right? Like those used to be pivotal mechanics in 14.
Not much so
Now
more.
they're not. And the open world. I think my biggest gripe about 14 right now is that the open world is trash. Like there's no point to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like I will say I do like the one thing that I do like how PSO2 handles is their transitioning from like zones. There's like no loading screen. Really cool.
Yeah, World of Warcraft solved that problem 20 years ago. Hell, Asheron's Call solved that years ago. the whole thing was just the open world. The only time you instanced in was in the dungeons. But the whole top surface world was just one massive zoneless thing. No zone lines, no nothing. Yeah. The fact that they still break all the areas up into zones and zone lines and all that stuff, nah. That's that's garbage. But in fairness, it's not like Square Enix in these last couple years have been, how do I want to say, uh, technologically impressive. Like they do some cool things, but they're not trendsetters in the cutting edge
Hmm.
of technology like they used to be. Right? Like the most badass thing was what was it, Agni's Gift or something that they wrote, which was the PS4 technical demo.
I don't know that one.
Look up the PS4 technical demo for Final Fantasy 14, and it's amazing looking, and it runs beautifully, and it looks beautiful. And that was the last time Square Enix put out something where people were like, "Holy shit!" Like it was jaw dropping. Might be called Agni's Song. I forget what it like AGNI, something like that. Hmm.
You said technical.
Demo.
Agni's philosophy character tech demo.
Yeah.
Was back in 2012.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like it's been that long.
Damn. That does look really good.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was 12 years ago, you know.
That's
And it
crazy.
was a tech demo, so that means it was actually made on the dev kit for the PS4.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. that that is that wow. That's really good. But like a lot of games nowadays, so like it's like that, you know, like they have a really amazing tech preview or a tech demo, and then like the
Yeah,
game,
but games today look like that, but that
yeah,
was a decade ago, right? So, like, that's what I mean. Like, Final Fantasy, the whole reason the Final Fantasy remake happened was because the PlayStation 3 launched with the Final Fantasy 7 tech demo with the new looking cloud. And like so people used to be really excited about, like, again, that's what I mean, like Square Enix used to be a big deal in the
Graphics.
technical skill set of video game world, right? People were impressed to see what Square was doing because they were like masters of of the console, of the
mm-hmm,
Sony
mm-hmm.
consoles, and they've lost that, and it's a shame. And I'm not, Yoshi P is pretty pragmatic. I don't necessarily consider Naoki Yoshida as sort of visionary.
He's not gonna push the button, but he's gonna make.
Yeah, he's not a real, I don't put him in like the risk taker camp. You know what I mean? So I'm not
Yeah,
sure like the old Square Enix will ever really come back.
mm-hmm.
So who knows? And especially now that he's CEO, something like that. He's on the board, right? He's part of the C-suite now, so uh, he'll be even less prone to be a risk taker.
I've read how much fun Nocturne is. Just to go on a slightly different
Is
tangent
that
of like,
SMT3?
yep, going back to like PS2 era RPGs. It's
Dude, PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 was the glory days of turn-based
Yeah,
RPGs. Like
yeah,
nothing will
yeah.
ever beat.
Back in the day, the way it was, the way that I, you know, that it, of course, like my opinion, okay, it's like there was some good titles on the other systems, but like back in the day, if you wanted to play an RPG, you played PlayStation. If you wanted a first-person shooter, you played Xbox.
yeah, no,
And if you wanted anything like family oriented or anything like that, it was always Nintendo.
no, that was
If you went
my.
really back in the day, if you wanted JRPGs, it was Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And if you wanted side scroller shooters, it was Sega.
Yep. That's way back in the day.
Yeah, thanks for making me feel old.
My first JRPG was Secret of Mana,
Oh, there you go.
which was on the Super Nintendo. That was such a good one. I didn't like what they did with the remake of that. Like I didn't like the way they did the models on the remake of that.
Oh, the one that just came out?
No, not the new one that just came out. They actually did a remake of
Yeah, the
Secret of
January.
Mana.
Yeah, not Visions of Mana, Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it came out in 20, the January of 21 or 24 here.
Did it come out in January 24? I thought it was a lot older than that. like 22 or 23. I
Oh,
don't know.
2018.
Yeah, I don't really care for like how they did the sprites in the remake. The game still plays nice, but it's kind of like weird, in my opinion.
Yeah, whatever. The remakes will never be
Yeah, the
what we want them to
remakes.
be.
Yeah, the remakes would never. Well, I mean, honestly, like there are some remakes that are like really good, but there's a lot of remakes that I mean, majority of remakes will never reach the standard of the OG, in my opinion. But a lot of it is because of the nostalgia behind it, right? Like as a kid, we played, the like Secret of Mana. Take Secret of Mana for example. Like that's a kid memory, from childhood, and that brought us joy back then. But seeing it, the remake of it, while the story was still, on par and things like that, it's like it's not the same because of that nostalgic feel.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you also have to remember, like, there was like technical aspects too, right? So like the resolution was low, and
Mm-hmm.
so in order to sort of get a decent amount of fulfillment out of the games, you used your own brain to go in and sharpen things up in your
Fill
mind
in
as
the
you thought
gaps.
about it, like,
Yeah.
right. And so and before voice acting, right, you put in your own voice, your own tone of how
Yep.
you think it went, things like that. So there's a lot of things that your brain did to fill in, which a lot of the newer titles just really doesn't afford you the opportunity to do so. Which is why I think most quote unquote AAA and even most AA games are kind of shit, is because there's not really hard. Only one person wins the Oscar, right, every year, and most people assume that like most movies that come out are shit. And video games are kind of the same way now. They're all produced with these and crafted with these high budgets and
Yeah,
voice
the
acting
thing the
and
thing with
narration and people, and it's
movies
like, yeah.
the thing with movies that like lost my attraction to movies is they're all just remakes or retelling of the stories from like way back.
Right.
Like
Well, and but
there's
the video game
no
industry is in the same
new.
problem,
Yeah.
right? Like people are just creatively bankrupt at the
Yeah.
moment. Like, I mean, like look at Star Wars, for example. Like everything that they've made for the last decade has essentially like flopped because
Yeah.
it's
The
the
same
old movie.
story. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same story.
I mean,
Just different characters.
and not even like characters that people find as compelling. Like, you know, Luke Skywalker, all he knew how to do was fly a ship in the first one. He didn't have any crazy superpowers. Meanwhile, we meet Rey, and you're like, oh, wow, she can use Force and knows how to use the lightsaber. Like by the end of the first movie, like what's going on here? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like where it's at too though. Like there's a lot of no room for the imagination, and the storytelling is kind of like Call of Duty. Like I've stopped playing Call of Duty a long time ago. Same with Assassin's Creed. I loved the Assassin's Creed games, but it's like it's the same combat style. It's like the same story. It's just a new skin. That's all it feels
Yeah.
like.
It's
Maybe it has to
people-
do with. Oh, go ahead, Goodrill.
I was gonna say it's people playing safe when safe isn't interesting a lot of the time.
Well, I was just about to say, I think it has to do with like too many. We're
You know
like
what?
as Americans and people in the West, like we're too far removed from like tragedy. Well, I mean, like our
Well,
parents,
and
our
here's the thing too, though. Think about it. Okay, what is one of the biggest things that is wrong with people, in my opinion, nowadays, is they're afraid of hurting everybody's feelings
right.
because you can't say certain things without somebody getting a hurt feeling. You can't say what the fuck is unalive. If something's
Oh,
dead,
yeah.
or if something's been killed, or if there's been a murder, why the fuck do we have to censor ourselves to say unalived?
Well,
I get
that's
it
sort of
in
what I was getting.
instances of like, hey,
Now I
weapons are
understand,
stupid, not people talking.
and like I understand that, like, okay, there's gonna be like kids because what who's watching these things and things like that, and there's a lot of kids and things like that that's watching these things, but like still, like it's still like people are afraid of hurting other people's feelings. And like I know this sounds crazy because like I'm trans, I'm bi, so I'm part of the LGBT community, and like but at the same time, like I'm not gonna stop somebody from being like like not liking me because of that. Like that's your opinion. I'm not gonna dog you out because you don't like me. Now if you like start being rude to me and not respecting, me for my ideas as an individual, it's how do I say it without like sounding completely like a bitch or an asshole?
You can
Um,
be critical of someone, but you also have to respect what they're saying.
yeah, it's like religion too. Like it's
Well,
fine
yeah.
that you
Well,
have a
I mean,
religion,
like,
but don't push it on people.
right. Like, well, I'll jump onto this landmine. Like, I'm not particularly pro the general trans movement in this country at the moment, but that doesn't mean that like I have problems with individuals who choose to do like I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with you, Cat. Like you're allowed to do whatever you want. Right? Like, the whole transing the kid stuff, like that gets under my skin, but like as an adult, do whatever the fuck you want. And like
Mm-hmm.
just because you're trans doesn't mean you're lesser or anything other than just another person to me. Right?
But
Like
yeah, and that's what it is. It's like respect me as a person. You don't have to agree with like my ideals or my opinions or whatever like that, but at least, be respectful enough to say, okay, well, and I think like a lot of it is like people think they have to tread on thin ice because they're afraid of getting their feelings hurt, or they're afraid of offending somebody, and so they make up these stupid ass things. Like I'll sit there and joke around. I'll say your mama jokes back to you. I'll make fun of you. I have no problem with that. Yeah, I'm cool. You want to be a little offensive? Cool. But at least, like keep it, like I don't have an issue with the conversation that we have during raids. And it doesn't bother me.
yeah, well I think it was what I was trying to allude to earlier was that we live in a world that's so far removed from the actual threat of physical violence that we're looking for new problems to solve.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that exists outside of the physical world is, how you internalize stuff. And I'm not necessarily sure that that's been a. We've gotten so good at civilization that we've created a whole new slew of imaginary problems for us to fix, right? Because we're
Yeah.
hardwired to
Find a
constantly be
problem.
on the
Yeah.
lookout, yeah, for problems, right? Because we're genetically predisposed to be like, there's danger lurking in the bushes, right?
Yeah.
You know, there are tigers in every bush.
Yeah. But
So
yeah.
that reflex still exists in us on some level, right? And so once we've generally solved the physical, the world is going to kill us every day.
Mm-hmm.
uh you gotta direct that energy somewhere. And
Yeah, but like still, like there's like I still don't understand like why like people always have to be on edge about, oh my god, I'm going to offend this group of people. Like, I mean, yeah, like you want to be respectful, but you still should be able to voice, like there's still ways where you can still voice your opinions without being offensive. Like I don't know, like
I don't know. I think the other problem is too is that it's much easier to engage in character assassination with one another now too, right? Like before, nobody knew you, Cat, aside from maybe a few hundred people, like in your town or your school or something like that. A couple
oh
thousand
yeah,
tops,
Almost
that's
no as
true.
in
right?
like
Right, like know
right.
of your existence, right?
Yeah, because
Now,
the internet has
one
changed
one
things.
asshole with an iPhone, right, can now make you persona non grata across the entirety of the United States of the world,
Yeah.
right? And I think that has changed how we interact with one another at a pretty
Mhm.
unhealthy level too, um, because it's very difficult to publicly disagree with one another on issues, right?
Mhm.
It's very A B camp. You're either with us or you're against us.
Mhm.
So we've lost that, and then again, with social media, it's it used to be very difficult to find groups that could help you self radicalize on whatever opinion it is, right?
Yeah.
It used to be hard to find zealots for a cause. But now,
Mhm.
whatever cause you want, you can find thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people within a few clicks.
Yeah.
Uh, so every fringe idea, one way or the other, is mainstreamable now. Um, and so that's hard. How do you deal with that? Because you don't have to listen to the people that you see every day anymore for positive reinforcement or normalization, to sort of keep each other in check, right?
Mhm.
All you have to do is go online and find people that agree with you. And then your
You're
whatever
self
ideas that you
gratified.
want to be
Yeah.
affirmed, yeah,
This the gratification is always there at this point.
right, exactly. I'm not a I used to generally consider myself a bit of a free speech absolutist for everyone because I grew up on the internet. Like, I mean, oh my god, like StarCraft. StarCraft was. I have seen more racial and hateful slurs and words playing StarCraft than I ever have collectively in the remainder of my life because the early days of the internet were just pure cesspool. And
Yeah.
like I go back and I think to myself like, you know, I think the internet should be as widely open as it kind of currently is, but we need to like we need to put up better safeguards for kids cuz they don't have the tools. Like, I feel like now that too many young people think the internet is the world, and it's not,
Hmm.
and it's breaking them. I don't know. I remember rotary phones, man. Like, and dial up.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, I remember all those.
you
And
know,
going
I
outside and
remember,
drinking from the water hose.
yeah, like, the first time I got onto the internet, it was a device that plugged into the surge protector outside of my computer,
Mm-hmm.
and no one could use the phones,
Yep.
and it was for Juno webmail. And, good God. Wow, I'm having old flashbacks to it. And oh, and we used to spend like 2 hours trying to sign on to it because the line was always busy because someone was always, people were always on it,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. Like, I get putting, like, trying to, like, but, like, sometimes you just need to say what you need to say, right? Like,
Sometimes you have to call a person an idiot when they're being an idiot.
yeah, like, there's so many times I wish I could just call people idiots, but I can't because I'd lose my job.
Sure. Well, I think it goes back to, right,
But
like,
yeah,
just
like,
we have to get back to be able to disagree with people again,
yeah,
right? Be
and
like,
yeah,
okay, you think that, I don't. That's fine. There's we forgot how to relate to each other, right?
yeah,
Like the other 60 to 80% of things that people generally agree on, like we forget that that's like most of the stuff that we agree on. So,
yeah. I can.
24-hour news and politics don't help.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Especially, since, like, you never know what's actually true and what's not. Because people are just saying shit to get attention.
Yeah, I think that's been the wildest thing over the last couple of years is everybody, both sides, race to be the first to break a story, only to realize like so many of the key details of whatever said story was just incorrectly reported on, but no one goes back and looks for the revisions in facts, right? And be like, oh, so that's what actually happened. And it was like, hey, do you remember when this person did that? You're like, yeah, and then you finds out they didn't do it, but nobody remembers the correction to things, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot wrong with the world.
Bless you.
Thank you.
What can we do about it? I just I just keep to myself. I do what I do, and if people want to have that, okay, fine, whatever. That's your thought, but no, I'm not gonna say that some words don't hurt, but like in the end, like most of the time when people are saying things, it's it's to try to get a reaction out of you, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize is it's not how you it's more about how you carry yourself and how you react to whatever action is going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys both seem old enough to be like the old mantra sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Hmm.
Like, people forgot how to live by that.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
I'm
it was
kind of
never true. It was never true,
yeah, it's never
but
true, but yeah, but yeah,
it's
like
one of those useful things to like. We used to tell ourselves to sort of ground each other to be like, oh, listen, it's just words. Like, we'll get over it, guys. Like,
yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The world is a strange place.
Yes, it is. It's a strange place filled with strange people doing strange things.
Exactly.
I mean, but that's what makes it cool, though.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, it's kind of like individualization, I guess you could. Weird people doing weird
Wasn't that
things.
always the great dream, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
judge people based on them as individuals, not by group characteristics and stuff like that. So,
I think I'm a cool person. I could be dumb as shit sometimes, but I think I'm a cool person.
I don't think I'm cool, but
I'm absolutely not cool.
I do
yeah,
dumb shit. I make
I mean,
mistakes, but
I had no idea how nerdy Gadrill actually was. Like, I find out these things
ooh.
more and more and more, and I'm like, wow, he is kind of a nerd. Like,
No, it's the thing
he's
of just like
Was Gurgil the person that had to have all the new sets and Magic the Gathering and kept up his Warhammer Codex every time they
not
No.
entirely off base.
you're not
Different
off base.
different product, right? But like the sense is there. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. No.
Oh, you were a
so-
Yu-Gi-Oh player. Ugh.
No. I actually never got into trading card games. Like that's a nerd weak spot that I'm trying. That weirdly I'm getting more into right now because some of my friends are into it.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Warhammer thing that he's talking about is I build Gunpla.
Oh yeah, see that's fine.
Yeah,
I know people that build Gunpla.
yeah, no, it's fine. It's just super fucking nerdy.
Yeah. I
But
collect stamps.
I did the Magic the Gathering. I used to have a Blood Angel army. Yeah, so like I get it.
I had a first edition holographic Charizard. Like I've been playing Magic the Gathering since like beta. I have stamps. I have every stamp from 1991 to current.
Oh, that wow, that's crazy.
And guns. I spent a lot of time shooting. That's about it.
I don't have my sliver deck anymore. I don't know what happened to it. I had a really cool sliver deck too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I checked out from Magic about 5th edition.
Yeah, I haven't played Magic the Gathering probably since like 2011.
2011. What was I doing in 11? I was working at Amazon.
I was in high school.
You were in high school in 2011?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Are you
I'm
like
not 30 yet.
30?
I'm
Yeah,
turning
aren't you like
30 in-
28?
I'm turning 30 in January.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're 29 right now. All right, yeah.
I'll have
Oh
to
my
ask you
God.
later. I'll have to ask you later. Because I'm also a January baby.
The 5th.
Yeah.
For me, it's the 5th. I know you may not want to say on stream if we're still on stream.
Oh no, I've celebrated my birthday on stream. The
Oh.
22nd.
Oh, you're an Aquarius.
I am.
Just like me.
I am day
27.
2. I'm day 2 of Aquarius.
Yeah, I'm the 13th of February. And I'll be 39. God.
I feel the same. You are then. My wife's birthday is 2 days after yours. Then she is January
Oh.
24th. Need to get used to calling you
24th?
my wife. January 24th. 2 days after.
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, also an Aquarius. Wow. Haha. Good drill. What's your I know your birthstone's Garnet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what the hell's Capricorn. That's what it is.
I don't keep up with all that zodiac stuff.
I don't know either. I just like I mean we have a song after Aquarius, so like my mom's January 2nd, so that's how I
Ooh,
know.
that's almost that's almost a New Year's baby.
Almost. I'll tell you what, February 13th sucks to have a birthday though, man. It was fine when I was a kid.
Yeah, but
People started
what
dating.
about February 29th?
That's fun because you can always celebrate that. You can celebrate that every year, and then every 4
You
years
celebrate that. Yeah.
you can have a big ta-da and be like, "Ha, I'm only 4, guys. Isn't that fun?" Ha ha ha. You know.
No, I think honestly, I think the worst birthday that you could have is Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But at least you're with family on Christmas,
What's
where
family?
you can be. Okay, I forgot you did mention that earlier. It's your spot. Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
have what I consider family.
Well,
That's
that's all that matters. Oh, we got 7 minutes till the beta launches.
Oh, well, you have fun with that. I think I'm gonna end my evening here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do my final scooping of cat poop and put out the
Woohoo!
garbage. God. Although, I will admit, I thought I was gonna have more problems downsizing to just one. I got like this one giant, like super size litter box, and so far, it's been working out.
All right, guys. I do appreciate all of you all coming and hanging out with me tonight. Tomorrow is Friday, so I know tomorrow is not in October, but we're going to continue our Fridays until I finish Alien Isolation. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be more Alien Isolation. And I'll continue doing Fridays until we beat Alien Isolation. Once we beat Alien Isolation, we'll move on to something else. I haven't figured it out yet, but we'll figure it out. Saturday, I'll probably be doing some job leveling. So if you want to join me for some job leveling, I'll be tanking, probably doing some healing. So yeah, if you guys want to join me for that, feel free to join me for that. Until then, y'all have a wonderful evening, and I shall catch you all later. Bye.